Gamers all around the flat simulation, we are back. Scootman is playing as Arbiter in the blue color, and he's harassing Marines on the far side with some grunt and ghost business. Daylon was not ready for this. Playing as Kinsano here, we'll have to focus on those back minis, but it's difficult to afford everything when you guys can't gather. They were trying to pick up a lot of power. I mean, Daylon will have to forego a little bit of buildings and even has to recycle the watchtower and instead send the Marine up, which means the Marines are not gathering. So great opener by Scoot. He's really piling on the pressure with every tool he's got. He's only used his initial boys. Now he's gonna have to go around the back and pick up all his own mini bases. But hey, Daylon isn't making buildings, so this is a great victory for Scoot indeed, who's got a full base back home and makes another ghost to hunt down the remaining Marines. This is great. Not even sure he needs that. But it can't hurt. There's lots of resources around the map to pick up now. Don't want to leave him there. This is the Rising Star League, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the winner's semifinals. 100 pounds are on the line. Pretty solid players here in Rising Star. They're very unlikely to win pro tournaments, but that doesn't make them weak by any means. You face these guys on a ladder, you're gonna probably cry. Ghost numbers are growing, very indicative of a shielded ghost business. Maybe supported by suicide grunts, maybe not. Yep. Raid camp coming up. Are we gonna get 2 raid camps then? You could do the kind of thing that you do with the brute leaders, where you send the hammer brutes around the edges for mini base snipes, but I don't think that's it. I think this is really just about getting Suis out in case it's a Marine blob trying to counter all this. And Daylon is playing into it with grenades, so he'll have to have some kind of response to Suis, because Marines alone can't make this work. Even with the best of splits, suicide grunts will be just too much once they're in numbers. So don't forget the ghosts get a good amount of healing from Conduit of Rage. And they can use their shields to tank for the grunts a bit, but I think they're more interested in aggression. While their shields are up, they might as well go after the Marines there, slowing down their power node captures. Good dodges against the grenades there. You just veer off course a little bit and the grenades won't hit you. It's great. Here's the Sui. A lot of redline Marines. Daylon's now getting a second gen. Doesn't have a turret to fall back on. As long as he makes it to third point, at least he got a drop turret which he can win fights with. It's just that if the Marines clump up, they're definitely at risk of getting suicide grunt hit. Which is why Daylon's sending some boys ahead just to make sure. It's just they're not going to be very good at taking out the Suis. They're quite resistant to damage from core infantry. More goes from Scoot. The second gen is now upgrading. He's quite committed to this tier 1. I mean, there's nothing that you can do wrong there. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, 1 suicide squad member is now down. I think you just flank with the ghost from the side perhaps and then run the Suis up. You should be able to get a pretty good engagement there. We'll see. Are those grenades one-shots against squad members? That's interesting. I actually didn't know that. That makes the Marines at least somewhat capable of handling this. Alright. Good on Daylon there. That was well done. most of the Suis have been cleaned up. See, I think it would have been worth it to make just an extra handful of grunts to do capturing with. Bet Scoot wishes he was Shipmaster. He doesn't have to deal with this. Just go raid 2 and your ghost can capture. That's nice. Anyway, Daylon's heading to tier 2 now. Has the upgraded pads. Not on the minis, but I'm assuming that's coming soon. Full pop Marines. And supposedly he's on 4th point already. Scoot's just happy playing it safe. But I'm not sure that's the best play, because here's the thing. With tier 2, you use your first 600 power to get combat tech Marines. And then Redline will re-trigger on everybody. That's an insane power spike, and the Ghost definitely can't handle that. So it would have been nice to have a trade before, reset the numbers a little bit. But the Suis are coming in right before the red line. Let's see how much of a difference they... Oh my god, the Suis just disappeared. Drop turrets coming through. Let's see those splits. What splits? So a lot of squad members down. The Marines are still rushing across, trying to do what they can. And they get stasis. That should definitely buy some time against Redline. The remainder of the units get easily picked off as well. Great play by Scoot. Going stasis is just a very good counter there. And he just needs to wait for a few more suicide runs. Lose a handful of ghosts, but it's not that bad. I mean, that was just a single ghost, right? It's okay. Making elite rangers now, not so much suicide grunts. Red line will soon run out. Oh, the stasis mines are gonna heal the ghosts up, give them so much speed as well. There's a flame hog, but the entire push has been thwarted. Well done by Scoot, that was beautiful. Very frustrating to be Daylon right now. I can tell you that. We're not even gonna see a drop. Didn't he? That was 3rd point. He only now is about to get 4th point, right? But with all the upgrades, he would have gotten 4th point fast, but no. Almost 9 minutes for 4th point. Well, the Warthog rams are way more powerful than the Ghost rams, so they do have to respect this kind of number. And guess what? The Rangers aren't going to be a good answer to any of this. That's why you're going to make the Arbiter and Hunters. 64 population to 57, but still a lot of it is in Ghosts and Rangers. They will eviscerate, I guess. But so will the Hogs. Daylon down to 50. Has no supplies at this point. Marines once again doing what they can there. But have to run, and Daylon doesn't want it anymore. Scoot has just the better army out, and he crushed Daylon fight after fight. He might be moving up the tier list quite a lot today. Well, by 1 spot if he wins this. Game 2 on Frontier. Scootman. Decimus. Blue color. Red color. Daylon. Shipmaster. Both are good picks still. But when you have Vordis on the table for Frontier, I think you pick Vordis. Although I will never complain about someone using Shipmaster here. Would it be actually better? What do you guys think? Ship is amazing. But Worry? there are mini bases everywhere to bully and siphon resources from, we do allow combat spoils. I think it could be great. Then again, does Decimus just shut him down? Maybe that's the thought. I'm not sure how or why that would be the case. Obviously the hero is nuts, but beyond that... Daylon probably just gearing up for a ghost play. We'll see very soon. Oh! He's going hero. Which should be quite manageable by Desi, I would say. Daylon going to 4 minis versus 2. That's a huge early game advantage. We should be seeing choppers. But that makes it difficult to take back the mini. Has to do it for the cloak reasons though, and obviously the shrapnel rounds choppers will be fantastic against grunts. Very weak chopper there, probably worth healing. But the heal zones anyway, so no reason not to, that's where he's going. Oh, some power left in the middle, interesting. Yeah, they are going quite heavy on the grunts. I wonder if he's gonna get the cloak upgrade as well, but probably shouldn't. Power is still there. Somebody take power. How many shoppers does Scoot have? It's a good number. You still have to be very careful with that hero, however. If he starts cutting into your choppers, they will go down. So you really have to keep your range. You have to make smart use of your rams. Look how much damage it does. That's not even the upgraded version yet. There's the upgraded one. Ooh. And eventually the grunts just pick them off. You add some engineers to this, and there's absolutely no reasons the grunts shouldn't be comfortable there. Hell, even the sentinels are helping the grunts. Where's hero now? What are you doing there? You have shields and everything. Oh man, the rams are great from Scoot. This splash damage will take out many of the grunt squad members. You gotta be careful there. But the chopper count is getting a little low. Ooh, Vortex will be great here. But we got a nice extraction. Saving many of the squad members there. Scoot adding in some suicide grunts. So this time around, Daylon doesn't have grenades to pick them off with. He does have the honor guard, however. Chopper's doing a great job reducing the numbers, but their own numbers aren't growing much, and meanwhile, Daylon controls the power nodes, has a mini base advantage. So the overall economy is definitely going in his favor, and Scoot has no power. Daylon almost ready to go tier 2. This is huge. Massive even. Good suicide ground connections, and the chopper numbers are now truly scary. Not adding engineers may have been a small miscalculation there. But Daylon is tier 2, he can definitely deal with the situation as is. Unseen Blade is getting researched. Sorry, it's Mercenary Rage, isn't it? I keep mixing up the two. Well, he's got it now. Whichever it is. Scoot picked up all the grunts, however, and he's taking over the power nodes. That will help him with catching up quite a bit. Still doesn't have a second base or anything, and you still have to deal with that hero who barely lost any health whatsoever. And this time around, there's going to be hunters to back him up. So nothing's guaranteed here for Scoot. But he's made some great progress. Don't think he gets to trade the choppers against that hero. Even if he did, he would lose everything, so I'm not super sure it's worth it. On the guard should get a star shortly. Maybe with this. No, still not. What the hell? Can't be far off. Uh-oh. You guys know that sound. Nice and safe outside the base so that it doesn't get beamed with all the boys. Unable to react. Whereas if they're already out, you just start splitting them right away with engineer shields on. No trouble with that, right? No way that turret's coming up. But we've got the beam. Daylon is reacting. Engineer shields are on. Perfect split. One Engie goes down. It's a good trade. I mean, 1-star hero. All the actual units survive. This is perfect. Look how the choppers are just falling left and right. And Daylon didn't even need to use the heal zones yet. He's just that solid. How would Scoot possibly be able to make a comeback happen? I don't know. Heroes running circles around him. Vortex got to do absolutely nothing. GG. Score is now 1-1. We're going to a decider. Oh, and here's the stats. Ladies and gents, Scootman and Daylon are now 1-1. This is a decider game. Scoot's bringing Pavium with an early burnout and extra choppers to win the middle fight with. Okay, we're gonna take a look at the beautiful Vigils before introducing his opponent. Ooh, the grunt getting picked off, but Scoot will have an extra chopper to fall back on in a moment. So I would say he's very comfortable trading some health with the other chopper as the next one comes in to win. But the skid's coming through as well for Daylon. He's playing as Colony. I'm not going to his base though. Let's just check this out. His grunt somehow made it, but here's the chopper now with a lot more health, but there's a second chopper. Oh, Scoot pulled back from the thingy. Didn't get the ram through. Ooh, Daylon. Also not quite wanting to go for the ram, but all the choppers are super weak. Scoot's waiting for the recharge on that ability. And I think Daylon does not want to stick around in the end. So Scoot does win the bottom part with the third chopper now coming through. He's gonna have 2 power extractors on the main base, unable to upgrade them, of course, as he used so much power on his burnout, as well as the choppers themselves. That was cool. I like the dynamic of this matchup. Like, it's kind of fair that you get a super chopper versus several. I think that's interesting. But will Scoot actually get all the minis he needs? That's the next question mark. There's a grunt heading over to secure them all. Pick-me-ups are working as suspected. All in Scoot's favor. Daylon also has 2 power extractors though, so, you know, things aren't bad by any means. Chopper comes around to try to finish off the Scoot choppers, but it's not gonna happen. Maybe if it had gotten a ram off. Either way, we'll get Capitano out. Might be a difficult one for Scoot to deal with. He comes across the entire map, which will take a long time to be fair, but if he does that, and there's a Goliath drop, could that take out these extractors? I think Scoot should be tier 2 by then. Doesn't look like he'll have a hero himself. He's more interested in that actual tier 2. Shrapnel mines for Daylon. He means business. He really doesn't want to deal with Mass Chopper again. But I don't think that's on the table. You should... It's a quick upgrade. I think you just should check if there are actually choppers. But maybe he wants the grunts to go together with the hero across the map and try to bully that base or something. Which could work together with the good old drop. As for Scoot, he's just happy to capture some power nodes. Nothing crazy there. Getting out a foundry. Some jump routes on the side. Whoa! That's one of the biggest mine throws I've seen. Didn't know they had that much range in them. But I guess if those guys start moving, then you get to throw further. Okay, Capitano's gonna waddle across. This might take a moment. He's slow. Very slow. Daylon is very far away from tier 2 himself. Adding in some choppers now. Definitely will have the drop ready. Wraith Invader coming out. I'm not sure that's enough against the Capitano. It will certainly help. We also get Pavium. Right. He's like halfway done. Limousine gets picked off. This might end in a very ugly way for Scoot. A lot of grunts here. The Capitano is still very, very healthy indeed. Wraith Invader together with Pavium might make a bigger difference, but tier 2 is on the way as well for Daylon. He's got overwhelming numbers. The additional choppers will help shut down any Rangers that come out. They're gonna be in big, big trouble here. Alright, there's Pavium, there's a Limus. Together with some Rangers. Will it be enough? Grunts are starting to mine it up. And we've got the Engineer Swarm trying to save the boys. It's a difficult job against that much DPS, but it certainly can be done. Rams will take that thing down. I think the Rangers just immediately evaporated. Where is the upgrade for Pavium Daddy? Oh no, he's fallen. His laser isn't enough. There was no lethal power from Scoot to follow up because he spent all his power. Suicide Grunt crashing into the grunts. That's not bad at all. good number of kills coming right through. And Scoot survives. Well done. But will it be enough? Because Daylon's already working on another base. He is tier 2 himself. And I'm not sure. Is that Capitano? No, that's still a tier 1 Capitano, right? I'm pretty sure. Well, Scoot has an opportunity here. Definitely should pick up what little blue remains on the map. There's quite a bunch. Hundreds of resources, in fact. This stuff pays for a third generator, guys. Never underestimate the power of the resources on the map. That stuff snowballs. So please develop an OCD about picking those up. We're gonna get a new Pavium. Or, oh, he's already there. Some hunters will be in order. And with skid support, they have a pretty good chance to make it. I really like the series between these two because they're so even. This is probably one of the fairest matches I've seen in a while. Just because these two players are basically the same power level. Love it. Oh god, Hunter's Brand. That will delete half the grunts. Wow. Wow, the limousine is gonna get wrecked as well. I'm not sure if Pavium has a way out of this. Taunted there. Doesn't get to do his laser. There's lots of engineer shields and there's an engineer swarm as well. I think they've got this. Couldn't get into the limousine unfortunately, so once again Pavium goes down. This is such a hard fight. Scootman's at 30 population versus 71. Look, if Daylon just saves up his resources and like gets rid of a handful of harvesters or something, he can drop in his big drop and then it might just be game. We also got the Goliaths ready to beat up a base. They should probably beat up the engineer, the ranger first. Why are we shooting that sensor now? I think Daylon smells weakness. He's gonna let the bottom base live and instead bring everybody up here. If he can get the big base kill, then so be it, you know? I'm not sure I'd be that confident about it, but hey, if he does get it, it's huge. All he needs is a little bit of money. He's off to the races with the big drop. And with that many skid hunters, he can do whatever he wants to these limousines. They just evaporate. It's not even worth making them. So Scoot's basically wasting a leader power at this point. You just can't make them. I bet he wishes he had Rain of Fire. Oh boy. Yeah, Pavium's going down again, isn't he? This is very bad for Scoot. He's got 12 population. Very little money. Like no ability to pick off any unit. I think his main is gonna drop. There's an attempt to send something across to drop a lich. But Scoot's already preparing... Scoot? Daylon's already preparing for Scoot's drop with a bunch of Reavers. And I'm sure there's more coming once he is able to sustain it. Population upgrade wouldn't hurt. So he can do everything at once. There's the Lich. It will definitely strip the shields. Maybe a handful of buildings, but it's not a big deal. Haha, it even gets nicked by that thing. I have a way with words. Anti-air turret is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Although the hunter is gonna cause some nuisance, this really isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things for Daylon. He has destroyed the main base, and he's going on to the next one. There's no way Scoot can protect that. There's no shields coming up, there's no units coming out. Those hopes were here in the Lich, and that's crashed to the ground now. Daylon's making it through to the winners finals, pretty big deal. Scoot has another life in the losers bracket. And we'll see how that goes. We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.